Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to this live. Although you are going to have this me looking here and me looking there because I'm again experimenting live on YouTube, on Facebook, and on LinkedIn and on Instagram. So, welcome to the Weird Wacky Wednesdays. How does it get even better than this? And how are you all doing? I'm going to wait for some time till I have more people joining. Hey Mao, how are you doing? Thank you for joining. And we have one on YouTube. Welcome. I'm going to wait for a few more seconds till we get more participation, more people. And I know we all are just back after the Diwali holidays. And how does it get even better than this? I'm sure you all had great Diwali. Did you? Nice to hear from you, Mao. Yes, I'm very well. Today's topic is quite interesting, and I thought, okay, since we are doing weird, wacky Wednesdays, this will be a great topic to talk about. And if you're watching me on Facebook, you have to give Facebook permission to put your name because sometimes I see you in comments, but I see you as a Facebook user. So many times I don't know who is the one who's commenting. So it would be great if you can post your name so it makes things much easier for me. Hi Manisha. And I think in a minute we'll start. So I know this live was supposed to start at 8, but it started at 8:15. And how does that get even better? Hi Sally, hi Ronak. Thank you for joining. And for all of you who are going to watch this live later, probably tomorrow, probably tonight, probably any other time. All I can say is whenever you watch this, this live is for you. Hi, Sanika. So I think now that we have people here on Instagram, about 4 5 people on Insta and more people on Facebook and on YouTube, let's begin. So, what is this interesting topic about? Now, the spirit world has also always been a matter of fascination for most of us, and our exposure to spirit world mostly happens because we watch a lot of movies, a lot of television, a lot of entertainment, and we also read, and most of us believe that spirit world is a part of a fiction. So there are either two points of view about spirit world. There are people who say I love to watch horror movies or read horror books and all of that, or I know people who say no, I'm scared, I'm not even going that way. Now, these are both what we call as polarities because we have fixed points of view about the spirit world because we've somewhere made a point of view or a conclusion that spirit world means scary ghosts who are haunting you or running behind you who want to kill you or something of that sort, which is, by the way, a big myth because that's only the portrayal of the spirit world made by filmmakers, entertainment makers. So, what is the spirit world all about? And when I announced this topic, many people said that Ashwini, you are always known to speak something so positive, and why you talking about topic like this, which is scary? And I always say that trust me, it's not scary. It's an entire world. It's an entire world out there, which just because we do not see, we cannot deny the existence of. Okay, so I'm going to just say hi to more people. Hemant Mant, Lalita ji, Prachi. Hi, Prachi. Good to see you after a long time. Yes, Mo, I know that it's so there are so many myths about this spirit world, and I always believe that I believe in making and keeping things simple. So the first thing which I want to share today, and it was just Halloween 2 days ago, so it just synced in the um it just synced with the flow of this talk. So yes, Prachi, I know there are many people who have the fear of unknown, and just because we do not see it, we cannot deny. So the first polarity, which is the denial that okay, it all doesn't exist, and we love to watch horror content, but we know it doesn't exist. There is also a lot of curiosity, a lot of people. So you remember those times when we were probably in our teens, and when friends or cousins used to meet up, there used to always be a topic of ghosts and spirits, which people are very scared of, and some people are very curious about. So the one polarity is where there is only curiosity, where you say that okay, maybe these things don't exist, I don't believe. The second thing is the curiosity, and the third part is where people are scared of it, but we are not going either of those directions. Also note that this is not a scary talk at all. So if you're someone who is scared, please don't be. Please make sure that when you listen to it, you just listen with a lot of awareness. And fear of the unknown, yes, of course, but there is no need to be fear about it. So the first thing what I'm going to talk about is how access consciousness changed my perspective of looking at the spirit world. So, yes, I was always a clairvoyant child. I was always gifted. Since my childhood, my parents often keep telling me that as a child too, you were aware of the superpowers, and I was always someone who had wisdom beyond what what is expected out of a child. So I was always gifted, and I could always perceive energies. All my childhood, I perceived energies. I was always drawn to the supernatural because I guess that's where my calling is. Now, after getting into the world of Reiki and angels and all of that, what we call as the fourth dimension, where you move beyond the unknown. So the third dimension is a state of mind where you just believe in what you see. And all the people who think that I don't believe in these things and these things are superstitions, they do not exist, or a lot of people say that I'm too intelligent to believe in this, are living in the third dimension, which means they're operating only from the half part of their brain, which is the logical. When you move to the next level, which is the fourth dimension, now dimensions are not places, they are states of mind. When you move to the fourth dimension, you start believing that there is something beyond what you can see and what you can physically see or hear with your ears or see with your eyes. um, so when you start moving into the fourth dimension, you start believing in the positive energy and the negative energy. Now, this is a very tricky place to be because most of the times when you are looking at this as a possibility, you are denying or you're afraid of the negativity. Okay, so a lot of people tell me that I feel there are entities around me, so I will draw light around me, or I will chant some higher frequency mantra, or I will do this and that. But now my question to you is, does just having a spirit presence, does that mean it is negative? Because just like there are kind human beings, probably you know someone who's been very kind to you, probably it's a close friend or it's a family or maybe your your spouse or your child. When you look for kindness, they are the ones who treat you with kindness. Then there are those mean people, maybe you think of your boss right now, or you think of someone who's been very manipulative. Then there are people who are consciously making decisions and choices based just out of consciousness, and there are people who are making not so conscious choices. Now, when we look at human beings, we look at these categories. Similarly, there are spirits who are kind spirits, there are spirits who are the nasty ones. But that doesn't put everyone who is a spirit, that doesn't make them a negative spirit. So, the first thing here I want to say is spirits are not necessarily harmful. This is the first point. Now, okay, I was talking about the dimension. So when you are in the fourth dimension, you are categorizing things as good and bad. This is the place where most people believe evil eye, anyone sending dark energy to you, and all of that exists. Because when you are living in the fourth dimension, you are still in the state of judgment where you are looking at the good and the bad. But now, when you move to the fifth dimension, there is no judgment. And this was my experience with access consciousness. Because as a Reiki master for a long time, as an angelic healing teacher, as an angel healing practitioner, as a master teacher, a lot of times I used to believe that an entity attack definitely means that it's something bad, there is something wrong. And that puts us in this whole place of do protection, do rituals and all of that. Although I'm not saying that these things do not work, because these modalities are beautiful, and the beautiful healing energies can really create shifts in your life. And I have been a practitioner, I have been a master teacher, so I love these energies and I love it. But the beauty of when I started practicing access consciousness was, in access consciousness, there is no judgment. There is absolutely no judgment. There is no good or bad. Everything is an interesting point of view. If you are someone who is an access consciousness practitioner, I'm sure you will be aware of what I'm talking about. The spirit world is not a bad place. The spirit world is just a different world. We all have access to it. We all can connect to it. But if we have closed our vision beyond what we can see with our physical eyes, we will not be able to access it. But I know many of us are born with the gift of being able to connect to that world. And many of us are so afraid of that we shut down our awareness. So in 2016, I first learned about access consciousness. That was the first time I did my first bars class. In 2017, I did my first access foundation class, and my life changed after that because there was a topic named entities. The moment I walked in that class, I was like, okay, what is happening? What's exactly going on? What is this whole thing about? And but when I was facilitated by my facilitator, and when I really, in access consciousness, we don't use the word understand, we use the term to be in awareness of or to experience. So when I experienced that class, and when I got awareness of this entire spirit world, it was such a beautiful experience. So first and foremost, my fear vanished. Obviously, I never had a fear about entities, but my fear vanished. And also the myths about the world, all the myths regarding all of this just vanished, because there is this beautiful world which is accessible to all of us. And in access consciousness, when we talk about entities, it's a beautiful place to be liberated. It's a beautiful liberating space. So my point of view about the spirit world changed. I realized that entities are just beings. They are not necessarily bad. There is nothing to be afraid about. As we always say, fear is a lie. It's a distractor implant. So anything which keeps you locked in the place and does not let you move out of your fixed perspective, which does not let you choose bigger possibilities, it's something which keeps you locked. And this place of being locked is what we call as distractor implant, which fear is. Because when you have fear, you cannot function. Fear paralyzes you because it keeps you locked. You cannot make choices because the fear is so overpowering. It doesn't let you make choices. And that is the reason, if you have fear about entities or about the paranormal world, you will not be able to receive, you will not be able to choose, and you will always keep judging yourself as good, bad, right, wrong. And that was my learning. So I was absolutely blown away by this whole topic of entities, and I realized that wow, this is something which, it's so different from whatever we have learned till date about entities, about the whole spirit world. And of course, post that, so many classes later, and we do something called as entity clearings, which is a very easy process, and which is so liberating and which is so wonderful. And there are so many people who, when I say that, okay, we do something called as entity clearing, they're first very scared. They say, okay, will it be something like, will you be using some methods, will you be saying something, but it's a very simple verbal clearing which we use in access consciousness. So if you are someone who has already begun your journey with access consciousness, and if you have begun your journey with entities, I'm sure you will already be aware of how magical it is. But if you have not, and if you would like to experience more about this, I'm doing an introduction to entities class this Sunday, um, which will start at 10 a.m. in the morning, 6th of November 2022. It will go till 1:30 in the afternoon. And with this class, we can explore the possibilities of everything. We will first and foremost bust all your myths, all the things which you believed were about entities. If you're someone who is scared, um, trust me, after this class, you'll never be scared, because I know so many people are scared before they take up any entity related activity. But post that, I think the first thing is the fear goes away. The secondly, if you're curious about the world, I know many of us are curious about this world. This class is a must for you. Also, if you are someone who always feels they are very high on awareness, they are very intuitive, they have a lot of clairs, and if you believe that good bad, if you're always afraid, and if you always say I'm doing a lot of shielding, otherwise I'm afraid that someone might attack me, this class is a must for you, because this class will help you understand why you are so aware, why you are so intuitive, and what your awareness is telling you, and you will be able to use this awareness to your best. So this Sunday, this amazing class is on, and we have some wonderful participants who have chosen this class, and I'm sure this class is something which got created. So I'm so looking forward to host this class this Sunday on the whole power of spirit world. And the beauty of access consciousness is it is extremely simple. There is no mumbo jumbo. There is no um, and I also feel that it's many people ask me, is access consciousness spiritual? And I would say it's consciousness. It's not about spirituality, it's about consciousness. And it expands your awareness, it creates so much possibilities that already people who have already done classes with me, whether it is the access bars class or any of the introductory classes, they've only seen magic, and they've only seen miracles unfold. People have manifested money, people have manifested jobs, cars, houses, and so on. And access consciousness classes are a way of life where you can keep choosing consciousness every single day. Access consciousness, for all of you who are not aware of, was founded by Gary Douglas some 30 years ago. The bars is the first basic class in it, but there are millions of classes in this access consciousness, and there are so many facilitators all across the globe. But if you would really like to choose a class, and if you're someone who is very intuitive, who is very clairvoyant and all of that, and if you're very high on awareness and you don't know what to do with it, this class is a must for you. So how do you register for a class? So just below um, this live, I will be posting the link to join my class. Also, I will be tagging my client manager Radhika. I'm sure she's watching this. Um, so you can get in touch with her, and she will um, she will direct you to the class and to all the registration formalities. So, well, if anyone who has any questions, I'm happy to take it up. And yes, every Wednesday we are going to have this weird, wacky Wednesday lives. So how does it get even better than this? And I'm so excited for this Sunday class, because what possibilities this class can create. So many of my participants who are here, they have been asking for this class since more than a year, and I had to get a few certifications in place before I could host this class. So now that it's in place, I'm so happy to host and facilitate this powerful class. Thank you, Lalita. I know I love this topic too. It's amazing, isn't it? And there is so much which you can share about on this topic. So if you have any questions, please feel free to post. Also, if you're going to watch this as a replay, and if you post questions later, I will make sure I will answer them as much as I can. But please know this is not a tarot reading, so don't ask questions like, what is my future? This is a live which talks about possibilities. So if you have any questions, I'm going to wait for a minute or so. And if you're watching this as a replay, you can still post your questions. Okay, Prachi, please go on. You have a question, so please go on. I do have my soup along with your question. So please post your question, Prachi. I will be happy to answer it. And I love your handle, Blue Blooded Mumbaikar. Such a beautiful Insta handle name. I'm going to wait till you type the question. Okay. Wow. On Saturday, you had an experience. You had a weird experience. Would you like to share the experience? See, many times what happens is, before you write that, um, we just, okay, I'm going to wait for you to write about, do you want to share your experience or do you don't want to? Okay, you felt as if you had someone had sprinkled water on your face to wake you up. That shows how potent you are and how amazing your awareness is. So, the first thing which I often tell people when they have experiences is to be in the question, okay, which means not to look for an answer, okay, and first and foremost, never doubt your experiences. Never think that, um, never think that there is something wrong with you if you're having this bizarre experiences because they are very much real. Only people who have experienced this will know. So, Prachi, I am sure um, this was an experience which was definitely a supernatural experience, and I often tell people to write about their um, experiences in a diary or a journal because it just helps you keep in the awareness. Wow, this happened twice, which means your sense of awareness about the world is very high. So I would really love to have you in the class this Sunday because we are going to talk about all of this amazing stuff because Prachi, when I started having experiences in with the spirit world, I always had that since I was a kid. And as a child, we never doubt these experiences, right? But as we grow up, the reality in which we live, these things are considered weird. These things are considered, "ये ऐसे कुछ नहीं होता है." Okay? And so the first thing is don't doubt your experience. It's very much real. And secondly, um, this is a big sign for you that your awareness is a superpower. So keep trusting it, and thank you for sharing this beautiful experience because I'm sure a lot of people who are watching or who will even watch this later. I know a lot of people watch my videos later, 6 months later, and they tell me, Ashwini, I saw that video of you. Usme wo tha. What can we do now? So, for whoever who is watching and whoever feels weird about having supernatural experiences, intuitions, awareness, that that voice in your head or something like, like what Prachi you shared. And that's fabulous, and thank you for being so vulnerable to share it here. Hello Didi, hi, thank you for joining. So it's a very much real experience, and if you would like to connect on this experience, and I would really feel that Prachi, I would love to have you on the Sunday class with entities. It will be such a contribution to you. So if you feel good about, if you feel light about choosing this class, happy to have you there. And for anyone who is watching this, happy to have you as a part of the class. So thank you for sharing. Such a great experience that was. Does anyone have any other questions? Hi, Vrushali. Vrushali is watching on Facebook. Any questions, please put up, guys. And if you don't have questions, we are going to wind up in one minute. But yes, I would still love to hear more from you. I think the best part about lives is they are interactive. So, does anyone want to share anything or ask a question? Happy to take it up. So, to sum up, for all of you who are joining late, so Priyanka, hi, Urvi, hi. Hello for all of you. Okay, so we have a question here from Vrushali on how to develop positive energy when you're tense. So, Vrushali, your question is really wonderful, and I'm going to answer that. Although it is not something which is in the context, because in today's topic we are talking about the spirit world. But Vrushali, I know I have connected with you personally. Also, you are on the Unicorn University group. So I'm going to send you a few links from my YouTube channel with a few meditations or clearings in order to keep your mind positive, especially when you are tensed. And I'm sure I hope that helps you. So thank you for posting that question. But because it's not in reference to this live, I'm not going to take it up here, but I will get in touch with you separately. Deepti, hi. But thank you for asking that question, Vrushali. And I will definitely get in touch with you separately on that. Okay, any closing questions on? So okay, so for all people who joined late, to sum up the live, we spoke about a few things. The spirit world exists as much as our human world exists. Just like there are kind people, mean people, um, funny people, manipulative people, and all of that, although those are judgments, there are different kinds of entities. There are kind entities, there are mean entities. So, not all entities mean scary ghost, bhoot, the Halloween characters. No. Um, Thirdly, most people who are very high on awareness might naturally have a connection to the spirit world, and most people know what to do with it. Most people are not aware. But what if you could, instead of getting scared, what if you could use it to your advantage? And my journey with access consciousness made me experience and be aware of all these beings and be in allowance of all those energies with absolute ease. And since 2017, when I did my first foundation, my entire thought process about the spirit world, the world of entities, changed. And this Sunday, I'm going to facilitate a class through which, if you are someone who has these kinds of awareness, and if you feel, I don't know what to do with this high intuition, I don't know what to do, you could join this class and receive and experience and get more awareness. So, this is all about the live in a nutshell for all of you who joined late. And for all of you who are going to watch this later, it's going to be a double power for all of you. So if we don't have any questions, I'm going to close this live in a minute. If you have any questions, feel free to post. Also, for all of you people who are watching this later and who are going to post questions later, I would love to answer you whenever I can. But having said that, thank you for joining on this fabulous episode of Weird Wacky Wednesdays. Weird Wacky Wednesdays are the days where I talk about some weird and wacky things which most people may not be aware of, or even if you're aware of, we sometimes believe that do they exist or not. So I will see you next Wednesday with one more weird wacky topic. Once again, a reminder, this Sunday from 10:30 a.m. in the morning to 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon, we are having a very amazing magical class, which is Introduction to the Spirit World or the World of Entities. And I have some amazing people joining this class, and I would love to see anyone, because many times what happens is people say, "Oh, I wish I knew about this class before. When are you doing the class next?" And I said, "I just had a class yesterday." So if you are someone who really, this kind of class would really contribute to you, and if you really like to choose this class, happy to see you. To register, click the link in my bio for all of you on Instagram, and it will lead you to a place where you will there will be registration details for the entities class. If you are watching me on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, I'm going to drop the link to this class. And how does it get even better than that? Thank you so much. Thank you, Prachi, for watching, and thank you so much for sharing your beautiful experience, for being so vulnerable. And thank you for all of you who are watching this. And have a very beautiful, wonderful evening. For people who are watching me from Singapore, it's almost late night, so have a good night. And for anyone who watches me in the day, have a beautiful day. And if you watch me later, wherever you are, there is no time and space. So have a good time. Bye bye. Thank you, Didi.